Okay, so you guys know how much we love diving deep into the tech that's changing the way we drive.
Right, and you've been sending in tons of articles lately about all the cool new car gadgets.
Yeah, we've got reviews from Car and Driver and
Yeah.
T3,
A bunch of hot takes from online retailers like R2B Store and W. Warren.
and even some deep dives from Men's Gear and Pep Lifestyle.
So let's get into it.
First up, let's talk connectivity. Because seriously, is there anything more annoying than fumbling with cables in your car?
Oh, I know, right?
That's why these wireless CarPlay and Android Auto adapters are getting so much buzz.
Yeah, they are definitely having a moment.
Like I'm seeing Ottocast mentioned everywhere. Have you had a chance to try any of these out?
I have, and honestly, they're pretty game-changing, especially in terms of safety.
Right, because that's always the top priority,
Exactly. No more looking down to plug in your phone.
which we all know is a major no-no.
So these adapters automatically connect your phone to your car's system as soon as you get in.
So basically like magic.
Pretty much. You get all your favorite apps, navigation, music, podcasts right there on your dashboard.
And PocketLint brought up an interesting point about voice assistants,
Oh yeah, they're becoming more and more integrated into these systems.
which I guess makes sense because then you can really go hands-free.
Right, you can control everything with your voice, keeping your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road.
But are there any downsides to going wireless?
Well, there can be some latency issues with cheaper models,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and the audio quality might not be as good as a wired connection, especially if your car has a really high-end sound system.
Oh, I see.
And sometimes compatibility can be tricky too.
Right, not all cars are created equal.
Exactly. Some older models just aren't going to play nice with the latest wireless tech.
So do your research before you buy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you find a reputable brand, the benefits definitely outweigh the drawbacks.
All right, so moving on to something that's crucial for both safety and fuel efficiency, tire pressure.
Ah, I know it's not the most exciting topic.
But it's so important.
It really is.
And thankfully, these new smart tire pressure monitors are making it way easier to stay on top of things.
Oh, absolutely.
Like imagine getting an alert on your phone when a tire is low.
Game changer.
You can address it right away. No more guessing or relying on those flimsy gauges at the gas station.
Or worse, completely forgetting about it until it's too late.
And W. Warren seems to be the go-to source for all things tire pressure.
Yeah.
They have a ton of information on their website.
Definitely worth checking out.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about dash cams. They've come a long way from those grainy little cameras that just recorded accidents.
Right, like the Nextbase IQ, this thing is insane.
Okay, tell me everything.
It has 4K resolution night vision, and it can even warn you about potential collisions.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's like having a co-pilot who's always looking out for you.
which is super helpful these days with all the crazy drivers out there.
Exactly, and it can be crucial for insurance purposes if you're ever in an accident.
Right, because then you have that solid evidence to back you up.
And not just for accidents either. Think about road rage incidents. Having clear footage can be a lifesaver.
Especially in low light conditions, which is where a lot of these incidents seem to happen.
Exactly.
That's a great point. But, with all this recording going on, it does make me wonder about privacy.
That's a valid concern. A lot of these newer models have features where you can pause recording if you need to.
Well, it's good to know.
And they're very transparent about how the data is stored and used.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're comfortable with the privacy settings before you install one of these.
All right, so we've talked about preventing accidents, but what about those unexpected situations that can leave you stranded?
Right, like a dead battery or a flat tire.
Which is why I think everyone should have one of those all-in-one jump starter and air compressor devices in their car,
Totally agree.
because you never know when you're going to need them.
I once had a dead battery in the middle of nowhere, and it would have been a lifesaver to have one of those. The R2B store seems to have a good selection.
Oh, yeah. I had a similar experience last year when I got a flat tire on a road trip.
Ugh, that's the worst.
It was not fun.
See, that's why these gadgets are so clutch. They give you that peace of mind knowing you can handle those common car troubles on your own.
Totally. But what if you're driving an older car that doesn't have all the fancy built-in tech?
Well, in that case, you might want to check out a Bluetooth FM transmitter.
Yeah, I've seen those mentioned a lot, especially from the R2B store.
They're a great way to add Bluetooth functionality to an older car.
So you can still enjoy hands-free calling and music streaming.
Exactly, without having to install a whole new system.
And speaking of music and convenience, those phone holders with wireless charging are pretty awesome. T3 seems to really like these.
Oh yeah, they're super convenient and way safer than fumbling with charging cables while you're driving.
Plus, they just look so sleek and modern.
Right. It's crazy how far these phone mounts have come.
Some of them even have extra features like air vents or built-in microphones for better call quality.
Like they thought of everything.
Now, Men's Gear mentioned something called OBD2 scanners. What are those all about?
OBD stands for Onboard Diagnostics. Basically, it's a port in your car that gives you access to a ton of data about your engine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can buy a scanner that plugs into this port and then use an app on your phone to read all the data.
So what kind of information can you get?
I mean, pretty much everything. Engine performance emissions, fuel economy, you name it. It can help you spot potential problems early on.
Oh, that's so smart. Like preventative maintenance.
Exactly. You can catch small issues before they turn into big, expensive problems.
Which can save you a ton of money in the long run.
And headaches. Trust me.
Now, I've heard a lot about heads-up displays or HUDs. They sound super futuristic, projecting information right onto your windshield.
Yeah, Pep Lifestyle was raving about these.
But I'm curious, have you ever used one?
I have. They're pretty cool.
So how do they work?
The idea is to keep your eyes focused on the road while still being able to see crucial information like your speed navigation directions, even incoming calls.
Oh, wow. That does sound pretty handy. But wouldn't it be distracting for some drivers?
Yeah, it can be for some people. It's definitely a matter of personal preference.
Right, because you don't want information overload while you're driving.
Exactly.
And Men's Gear also mentioned something that's not exactly high-tech, but definitely essential, a car vacuum cleaner.
Oh my gosh, yes. A good portable vacuum can be a lifesaver, especially if you have kids or pets.
Or if you're just a bit of a clean freak like me.
I feel that there's nothing better than a clean car.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today, for keeping your car connected, to staying prepared for the unexpected, to maintaining that fresh, clean feeling.
There's a gadget out there for every driver and every need.
But I think the key takeaway here is that technology can really enhance our driving experience.
Absolutely. But it's important to be mindful of the potential downsides, too.
Right, like distraction and privacy concerns.
Exactly. Choose gadgets that prioritize safety, avoid unnecessary distractions, and do your research before you buy.
And of course, always drive safe.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in.
And keep those car gadget recommendations coming.